It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling.
Hey guys, for today's video, we're doing another episode of Draw Your Journal. If you don't know what Draw Your Journal is, it's my prompt journal that I wrote, and it is available on Amazon. It's basically a visual diary that is all about you. Every single prompt in this book is supposed to prompt you about you and your life, and then you can draw about it. Yep, that's pretty much it. Let's get started doing the pages. Ow. Okay, so here we have our Draw Your Journal, or my Draw Your Journal, I guess. And I'm flipping to the page that says, Draw Your Dessert. That's pretty self-explanatory, but in case you don't get it, your dessert can be anything that you like to eat for dessert. If you have your own copy of Draw Your Journal, there are a couple of ways you could go with this page. You could draw your favorite dessert to eat. What tastes the best to you? Maybe it's not necessarily your favorite to eat, but maybe it's something you're known for making. Maybe a family recipe or something. A dessert that reminds you of your grandma, perhaps. I don't know, I'm just spitballing here. In my case, I have a lot of favorite desserts, but I really love a certain flavor that is often present in a lot of desserts, and I have a character idea that goes along with it. Something that I really like is when things have a cinnamon sugar type of taste to it. Tastes like sugar. For example, cinnamon toast waffles. I loved cinnamon toast waffles so much that my mom used to pack me them in tiny squares in my lunchbox, and I would eat them cold. Ugh. My love for cinnamon toast waffles persisted into high school. I would walk onto the bus every day with like a stack of 4 cinnamon toast waffles. This is not a cinnamon toast waffle that I'm drawing here. I think we can all see that. These are cinnamon buns. The reason I'm telling you this story is because I love cinnamon sugar. Another component to this is I recently painted CDs and I painted a monkey. And I got a lot of comments about the swirls in the monkey's ears, saying they kind of looked like the swirls on cinnamon buns. And I said, oh my gosh, I have to draw that. This is perfect. I love any dessert with cinnamon sugar. I like monkeys, and my monkey can have cinnamon bun ears. Because I've never seen that. I googled this and I have not seen a monkey with cinnamon bun ears. It could be because it's crazy and doesn't make any sense. Probably. But I really do like it when I'm able to come up with new animal food combinations that I haven't seen before. It just gives me a nice thrill. I'm like, yes, a cinnamon bun monkey. Of course. No one's seen that before. For this page, I was focusing on only using my Prismacolor Premier colored pencils. If you've been following me since the start of my journey with prompt journals on YouTube, you know that I started by posting videos about Create This Book and Wreck This Journal, and I had basically never really used a colored pencil that was not Crayola colored pencils. And this is certainly not a knock at Crayola colored pencils. I used them all of my whole life growing up, and I think they're a great art utensil. However, when I started posting on YouTube, I started by using Prismacolor colored pencils, which are a little bit easier to blend, but also very different. I definitely have a lot more to learn about them, but maybe I'm finally getting the hang of it. Maybe. For this cinnamon bun monkey's face, I added pink and orange to the eyes. I don't know if I regret that. It might have been a weird eye color choice. And I also added white highlights to the face. For the background, I'm taking out this very light pink color and I'm dipping into it with my paintbrush. I felt like the background needed a color, so I went with light pink. I kind of regret it. I feel like blue may have been a better choice, but it's like fine, but also maybe a weird background choice. I don't know. Do you guys like it? Do you hate it? I don't know. It matches the monkey's blush. Anyway, I added some sparkles to the pink background. This is a black Posca paint pen, and I'm using that to go over the prompt for this page. It kind of got covered by the colored pencils, and I wanted to remember that it said, draw your dessert. And last but not least, the most important step. We have a matte decoupage finish, and I am going to be painting that over the whole page, just so everything is sealed in and doesn't get ruined over time. And here we have the final cinnamon bun monkey page, featuring my favorite type of dessert, anything with cinnamon sugar, especially a cinnamon bun, and the thinking about you monkey, except this time he's thinking about cinnamon buns because he is a cinnamon bun monkey, a cinnamon bunky, cinnamonkey. Oh, I like that. Overall, I'm very happy with the result for our Cinnamonkey. Everyone must refer to it as a Cinnamonkey from now on. That is mandatory requirement if you're watching this video. Someone get this Cinnamonkey a cinnamon bun stat. Okay, before we move on to the next page, I wanted to say thank you so much to anyone who has purchased Draw Your Journal, and especially thank you to anyone that has posted your art online. I search the hashtag #DrawYourJournal all the time, and I'm always looking for your YouTube videos on it. These are all so good, and I cannot express to you how happy it makes me to see what you guys come up with. Okay, let's move on to the next page, which is Draw Your 3-Color Challenge. Draw something using only 3 colors. Black and white are shades, they are not colors, therefore I will not be selecting them at random, but I will be using them. I did choose these colors at random, and you can tell because the choices are absolutely awful. Green, green, and tan, and then black and white. I would have never chosen these colors of my own volition. You can really tell my eyes were closed. Now, since this is your journal, if you have this book, you don't have to do the 3-color challenge page the way I just did it. For my page, I decided to actually follow the 3-color challenge, quote-unquote, rules. But if you wanted to document or memorialize a 3-color challenge you've done in the past, you could have done that. For example, I could have drawn maybe one of my squishies that I did in a 3-color challenge a while ago. I also could have done maybe my own version of the 3-color challenge, where I drew something using only my 3 favorite colors. I decided not to do that. To make it personal to me, I chose my 3 colors at random, which were green, green, and beige. And then I said, what can I do that would make this personal to me? Something I always associate with myself and my doodles are these characters that I draw. I used to draw them when I was in elementary school, and I feel like every time I go back to them, it kind of gets my creativity flowing. I guess some people call it art block. If you have an art block and you just go to a doodle that you typically draw, I feel like that always gets my creativity flowing. So since I didn't really have a real idea here, I thought it would be nice to lean into something that I just like to draw. But I thought it was fun and interesting because typically I draw these little characters in all different colors with all different types of spiky things popping out of their head. It's kind of a combination between Kirby and Pikmin. Kirby in the sense that it's got the black feet and the arms that stick out like that, but Pikmin in the sense that it has plants growing out of their head. Sometimes it's really fun to go back to a character that you've drawn a bunch of times in the past, but put a new spin on it. Using only dark green, light green, and beige was so limiting for these characters that I feel like I came up with actually new versions of them. And this is why I love prompt journals, because sometimes when you limit what you're supposed to draw, it actually makes you a little bit more creative than you expected. Because instead of thinking of everything in the whole entire world and getting overwhelmed by anything you could draw, now you're so limited to a very specific set of colors or a set of constraints that you can be creative within those constraints. For example, I have drawn these characters hundreds of times, and I have never drawn this tree leaf broccoli one. I've never drawn the dandelion one, ever, and he's so cute. I have drawn the grass one. He's one of my faves, and I always draw him. To add some more details, I added little dots all over the grass for some shading, as well as some white dots for some highlights. And then I also added dots to the background. I felt like it needed some color back there, but I also didn't have really any other colors to color the sky with. I signed my signature in the grass. And here we have the final result for this 3-color challenge, which uses beige, dark green, and light green. I also allowed myself to use white and black because white and black are shades and not colors. Considering this is a 3-color challenge and I had to use very limited amounts of colors, I am very happy with this page. I think the characters are really cute. I love their expressions, and I just like the setup of the scene. And here we have both of the pages that I did for this episode of Draw Your Journal. I actually didn't have a chance to do a 3rd page this week. I am engaged and my family threw me a bridal shower as a surprise, so I ran out of time here. Even though I only got to do 2 pages, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to preview Draw Your Journal, you can go to bellamena.com to do that. And if you'd like to see my other episodes on Draw Your Journal, I have the playlist linked in one of these 2 boxes. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next week for another video. Bye!